Hello. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the price action that we've basically been seeing in crypto over the last few days. Just quickly talk about, basically how, kind of talk about where can we potentially be heading to, or how low can we potentially be going. Um, I mean, I don't know why like people are kind of shocked at the price action right now. It was pretty obvious, honestly. Every time that I've looked at the price action before, if we're looking at prices here, ETH, ETH is just really trending downwards right now. Every time we've looked at it, I mean, there's just been no sign of it reversing. So I don't know why any YouTuber or whoever it may be, or just person on Twitter would ever expect this to bounce back right now. I mean, for all the various reasons that we've discussed before. The fact that it's summer is one. I mean, there is definitely such things as summer lulls. The fact that um, there's just no catalyst right now. Um, the fact that the technicals just don't look good. I mean, just so many various reasons as to why. You know, we were experiencing huge euphoria basically, not even like a few months ago. And now that euphoria is gone, the reality is that from what we can see on all the different charts here, right? Like, for example, if we're looking at the Bitcoin chart, yeah, we had that one slight time where we did break past the 21 day, but I think what we can clearly see here is just the constant lower highs all the time, and definitely certain lower lows as well. And we really are just, you know, if you just forget like any technical patterns aside, we're just clearly the sellers are putting more pressure on this 30,000 dollar support line or support range than the buyers putting pressure the other way around. The same goes with ETH, right? It just every chart right now kind of looks like a descending triangle, right? Which is obviously a bearish pattern. Um, if we look at ETH here as well, um, the sellers are just clearly out or beating out the buyers at the moment. There's just more demand to sell right now. And I think what we're seeing in particular at the moment in a lot of the crypto market, um, is that every time that the price sort of heads back here, it could be just short-term traders taking profits, but it also could just be people who've been in the space, they were new traders. They could be, whatever you want to call it, retail or whatever, who got in at when prices were pretty high or maybe even too high. For example, if we're looking at ETH, maybe they got in around 3,000 or whatever. And now, they have no experience with this market. They have no idea what they even the fuck that they bought. And they're just every time now that there is an opportunity to potentially take profits or at the same time just cut your losses, it's happening right now. I mean, that's why we keep on making lower lows, right? Um, yeah, and like I said, not just for ETH or for Bitcoin, but I think you can see it in a lot of different coins when you look at different charts. ADA is the same, and now we're just continuing the same kind of almost descending triangle style pattern where we just have these lower lows, lower lows. And yes, we're getting this support, and I think that's what's been very misleading to some people in the market. Like if we're looking at ETH, like or even let's say Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the best example, right? Before we were just getting these big wicks bounces, right off. And that would also then, I think, sometimes mislead some people to thinking, oh yeah, we're recovering. Look at how strong that bounce was. Look at how strong that bounce was, right? Kind of on that mentality, like buy the dips, like every jackass on the internet. But um, especially in markets as well right now, like crypto, which are just so over leveraged, you're naturally also going to get these types of bounces. I mean, if you've traded any amounts of gold as well, like or Forex, like you see these types of bounces all the time because of leverage positions and people getting wiped out and then orders being triggered or whatnot. So I'm just surprised that people just were so like almost like easily fooled, I guess, by these kind of short-term bounce backs when clearly when you zoom out a bit and just view a longer term time frame or from like a like from a longer term perspective, that's what I wanted to say. It's clear that yeah, I mean we're still kind of headed downwards. um, but so I guess the main question really is like how low can we actually go in the crypto market right now? And again, this when talking about things like, okay, are these projects going, or where is the overall market going to go? We have to obviously look at market cap much more so than necessarily just price per se, right? So if we look at the overall market cap, yes, we got a strong bounce at that $1 trillion kind of support range here, which was previous resistance before. But I feel as though like it's quite clear at this point, as we'll probably follow the 21 day here on this chart as well. It's quite clear that the market wants to retest that level. Maybe this is going to, however, be a really good opportunity for a potential double bottom. I don't really know. We'll have to see. I struggle to kind of believe that right now, just given that there's just so little volume in the market at the moment. But of course, with little volume means that you can sometimes get those huge spikes in return, which is just going to blow through order books. So um, yeah, take that for what you will. But it looks like we really want to retest this $1 trillion market cap level, right? Um, which when you really think about it, $1 trillion for a industry that is just so underdeveloped and at the same time which has so much speculation. So many of these projects don't even have very, very real working products or much usage whatsoever, yet they're getting valued at crazy valuations. You actually start to, like, when you just start to think about these things a little more logically, you actually realize that, like, a trillion, like if we manage to hold a trillion, that's still really, really bullish for the crypto market, because just there's just still too much overvaluation here. So if we manage to hold that, that would be really, really good. And that's a level that obviously we want to keep an eye out for. But I'm just not that convinced right now that we're necessarily going to continue to hold that. I would personally much rather us see break below that and then kind of retest the previous market cap high back in 2017, which, if this loads, was around, yeah, 750 billion, right? If we can actually get through that, and which is and that will actually cause a lot of the real shit projects, um, also like the good projects, but just especially the real shit projects, to lose a lot of their value, basically get all the shit investors and all the shit money in the market out, and then hopefully to see some sort of accumulation somewhere here, or just some sort of steadying of this clear decline where we're just getting much more sideways price action. That would be a lot better. Um, but yeah, so these are really the two levels that we're looking for. We want to see over the next coming days, are we going to really hold 1 trillion? And if we get to 1 trillion, all this value going to leave from, right? Let's go back to the watch list. I mean, clearly it would probably mean that Bitcoin is going to break below probably 30K. ETH is probably going to break below 1.6, or get back to 1.6 rather. And a lot of other projects are going to continue to lose value. And the shittier the project is, the more fucking value it's going to lose, right? That's just probably what's on the cards right now. I, um, I don't see the market just, like, if we're realistic, if you're hoping for a bounce back, I don't want to sound like a fucking negative dickhead or negative Sally, but um, it doesn't make sense for the market to rebound here. Like, why would it rebound here from a technical standpoint? Again, like, why? Technicals aren't there, and then at the same time, there's no fundamentally positive news at the moment. If anything, there's just constant FUD, and the FUD means nothing for a market like this. FUD doesn't mean shit, okay? Like, this market does not move necessarily like that on just some stupid ass FUD. But yeah, exactly. Where's the catalyst going to come from? Like, we're not going to get another Elon anytime soon. So let's see what happens when we hit 1 trillion. But naturally speaking, um, as a result, we're probably going to see more bleeding if we're going to go back to a trillion. One last thing is, just to make sure that you guys keep everything in perspective. I mean, just look at some of the top 100 coins or projects in the space right now. I mean, right, obviously we're at the 80 level here, for example, on CoinMarketCap. But you can see that some of these projects, they just still are way too big. Look at this big bullshit shit coin, valued at $564 million for a, I mean, have you ever used Bake? Have you ever looked at Bake? God, it's such a shitty exchange. Just another shitty BSC project, right? And I'm not shitting on BSC or anything. BSC is like cool, if you want to, if you're a pro BSC, I'm all for it too, whatever the market wants, but there's a lot of shit projects built on it that are just holding way too much value right now. So you have to really ask yourself, like, given now this the overall negativity in the market at the moment, do these shit coins have to bleed a little bit more before we see some improvement or some rebounding back to the upside so that the better projects can start to take over again and lead the market and then lead the market to go back to higher levels? I would hope that some of these fucking shit coins lose a lot more value because they don't deserve to be around. They're fucking shit coins and they suck, right? So you got to really keep everything into perspective, especially if you're a new investor in this space. You have to really, really, really keep things in perspective. Don't let your biases kill you. Don't let your biases kill you. And it's really, really easy to be overly bullish on the crypto market all the time. I was there before. I think many people still do it. And I've seen a lot of people burn from it as a result. And I'm not saying we're going back to like total fucking bear market shit days like back in 2018. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying there's nothing wrong as well with a little bit more bleeding and a little bit more value being taken out from all these shit projects. Like, let's be real. Sometimes just markets also need a bit of a cleansing, if you want to call it like that. Um, anyway, guys, that's kind of it for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys think we're going to hold this $1 trillion level here. Um, let me know if you think that Bake isn't a total shitcoin. Anyways, consider giving this video a like. Sorry for that fucking cat. And I'll talk to you on the next video.